everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Do Soon, back today with part 2 of the half spine little junk journal that I'm making, that was inspired by Natasha at Treasure Books. I showed you my prototype, this half spine decorated beads. Haven't done much to it, I haven't really decorated it. It's got 3 signatures, and this is purely for me, so that's why I haven't gone ahead and decorated, because I'd be working on it over time when I'm doing, you know, all sorts of bits and I want to practice on something. This is what I'm going to use. So that's, you know, the kind of the way it's going to look. So there you've got your half spine there, and these signatures are not sewn in. You can sew them first if you want to, but you make slits in everything to match the height of the spine, and then you use a cord, string, thread, whatever you've got, and you bound them around this spine, and this is what these beads are on. That one's not quite as tight as I'd like, but you know, as I say, this is just for me. So in episode 1 we made the cover here out of packaging, and we've reinforced either side, and we've reinforced this spine here. So today I'm going to cover it. I've made my signatures. I haven't slit them yet, ready for the spine. I thought we'd do that in the next episode, but I'm using Tim Holtz Wallflower scrapbook pad, 12 by 12, and I've cut mine down to the size of my journal here. May have to be adjusted, it depends. Like with all journals, once you put your signatures in, sometimes they will peek over the edge. So I've just put together a combination of those papers and some blank papers, envelope, bits and pieces, different sizes. Now if you wanted to embellish these, you're better off doing it. What I mean is, if you want to embellish them using the sewing machine, and if you want to sew round anything, you'd better off doing the signatures before you put them in. So that's something to think about. I'm not doing any sewing in mine. I don't feel that I'm good enough at the moment with my sewing. I don't want to ruin something I've put together. So again, this is kind of one of the things I've practiced on, doing a bit of sewing on pockets here, side tucks and things. And that one here, I just use black thread. And that's a double pocket there. I just, you know, will use this as an experimental book. So this one I did put a little pocket in here with sewing, but my sewing, I have to keep practicing. The worst thing, I think, I love to see sewn covers all around the edge, but my biggest dread is that, because I'm not kind of used to the sewing machine as much as other people, you know, I haven't sewn anything on a machine since I've been at school. I don't want to ruin something like this by trying to sew around it and making a great big hash of it. So that's why I'm not sewing anything for this project, or the foreseeable ones really. The only things I might have a go at sewing that perhaps don't matter too much if I do make a hash of them are the tags and the journal cards. So, you know, you may find there will be a bit of sewing in this. So these signatures have to be quite sturdy, because they're going to be slit here down to the size of this spine, so that they can be bound. So you do have to kind of bear that in mind, which is why I've used a scrapbook pad, and this is a Tim Holtz Wallflower one. Okay, so we'll put those to one side because I'm not dealing with those today. So I have decided, I've kind of toyed with what do I want to cover this in, and I couldn't find any material that I really that really kind of, you know, sometimes doesn't inspire you. I mean, I've got loads of bits of material, but nothing really inspired me to go with this. So I've gone back to my old favourite, which is the Heritage stack or Heirloom stack, which is the 180 single-sided scrapbook pad. And I found 2 sheets in here that I think go with the colourings of the Wallflower kit, you know, the scrapbook pad. So I think these colours go very well with it, so I'm going to use those. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm thinking that I want to cover this probably in just this side, not try and get that on. So we're going to cover each side separately. So that will be the back, and this one will be the front. Okay, so I have to decide. I'm going to lay it flat. I want some overlapping, so I want to kind of avoid that if I can. So I feel if I cut that now, because that is not in the correct place, that wording, but I can use it for a journal card or something at a later date, or even for this project. So I'm going to take a risk now and just use my ruler for a minute and see where is the edge of these. So the edge is there. So I want to keep as much of the paper sheet as I can. Okay. Make sure it's all straight. Put that back in because that's in the way. So that I can use and make something nice with. Okay. So this is what we're going to use for the front. Okay, so I want some to overlap because I'm going to fold. So let me see. Do I want the top or do I want the bottom? Let's see, what would that look like? Just a matter of just positioning it. And obviously this is going to be decorated on top of this paper. So I think I'll go for the top half. So my cover is, just to refresh our memories, is 6.5 inches by 5.5. So, and I want at least an inch either side. So I want 7.5 by 6.5 inches in size. So let's see what we've got. So definitely got enough for 7.5 for the sides, and because I'm allowing an inch around to fold over, 6.5 would take me there. Or 6.5 would take me there. So okay, so let's go for 6.5 there. So if I just mark that, I'm just going to pop my cover on there just to, right, okay, good job I checked because I've measured that wrong. So I think I should have added an inch either. Right, so that width is fine, that's fine, I'm not going to cut that. It's the top, so actually I'm better off gauging it this way. I'm terrible, aren't I? Terrible for mathematics. Oh dear me. Right, in for a penny, in for a pound. We've now done it. Okay, so it doesn't matter which way up it is. So here's my piece. Okay, I'm going to lay it on there. Right, don't worry about the spine, ignore that. I'm making a point there and a point there, one there and one there. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip kind of not quite up to the point, like so, so I can fold this. Be a bit like folding, you know, paper on a glass present or something, gift. I'm going to stick with it that way because that was the natural way that it wanted to fall. Make sure I've got the right side then. So, okay, and I'm going to glue it. Okay, so I'm gluing all of this, and I'm going to use Beacon 3-in-1 because my other wet glues will wrinkle the paper and I don't want that. So I'm just going to put some all the way down here. This probably will soak a lot of this up, so you can always go around and stick it down. Okay, afterwards, right, let's get that positioned on my points there, like that. Give that pressed down. So now I can fold this over whichever way I want. So I can I don't want it to be too bulky, so I'm going to fold it here like that. And I'm going to, now don't worry about what this looks like on the inside because you're going to get another sheet, something, and you're going to be covering the inside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim the triangle off there, which I stupidly glued, and this one here, like so. Okay, and then I need to, it's got to go round there, so I need to mark it there and mark it there, like so. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this piece across like that. This is how I'm going to do this. And I think I'll probably put some corners on this. And I'm just going to fold that in now. I think that might be the best way. And fold it in like so. So just going to give that a crease down. I'm just going to trim those bits off too. Hopefully this is going to look all right. If not, we can always go over it with something else if we don't like it. Never fear. There's never anything so terrible that you can't alter it or make it a difference, you know. If you don't like it or if it hasn't worked out, then you can always add something else to it. So So just giving that bone fold. Okay, and now I am going to, before I stick anything else down, I am going to cut this piece here. So, okay, so those can be folded in next. Okay, so again I'm just going to snip off. I mean, there might be an easier way to do this. By all means, do whichever way suits you the most. So I'm just going to make sure that glue is down right by that spine edge of that front cover. Okay. So fold that, put a bit more glue there. Like so. Okay. Okay, turn it round. Tiny bit sticking out there, so I just want to tuck that in. So I'm just going to snip that and that one, and just fold those in like so. Find your glue. I just want to trim that bit down, so it's sticking over the edge, like so. Go right to the edge of the cover. Like so. Give that a press down. Okay, so we have our cover. Now I am going to cover this over, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little crease there, like so, because this I'm going to glue down. So I'll glue this bit down, and then there will be a bit from the other side, and that will just add to the strength of that spine, because I will cover the spine with something else anyway. With my prototype I covered it in some nice crochet lace, so I'm just leaving that for a minute, like so. So that's the front done. Okay. Right, let's do the back. Now the back, now the back's quite plain, isn't it? How much have I got hanging over? I've got enough there. Probably get away with that. So let's cut it about there and about here. Okay. See if I can find my mark. Oh yeah, my mark is there. Right. Okay. So, you know, I've given up measuring now. Given up the measuring because it wasn't any good for me. I'm better off without measuring myself, actually. Where's my mark? I don't know. Right, okay, let's make sure we've got, so if we had, oh, I can see it now. Right, there it is. And might as well use this. Oh, we've got a nice line to follow. There. Okay. Right, so make sure that's up the right way. It is. This is where it gets difficult when you just going to crease that there, and I'm just going to make that one mark there. So okay, right, I'm just going to just fold that there very gently so I've got an idea on the back where I want that to be. So if I have it like that, yeah, that's okay. Right, okay, so again I'm going to just do a dot and a dot. See if perhaps we try something different this way. Certainly going to take a little bit off the top of that because it's a bit too full. Don't want too much to hang over. Have to fold in because otherwise it becomes too bulky. Right. Just keep checking you've got the front. Let's not snip those. Let's just see if how we get on. We can snip them after we've glued it on. Okay, I just need those marks anyway so I know where I'm gluing it to. So sorry for the noise, it's that corrugated effect. I'm just giving it plenty, but I'm just smoothing out some of the larger bits. Okay, so we take this now and pop it down, so that gives me a good guide as to where I want it to sit. Okay, so again I'm going to mark here and here. I'm just going to trim the slip those along there like so, and that one. Okay, right. Yeah, so the reason I don't like, I mean, you could do it like this. That's another way of doing it. So this is how I would probably wrap up something like that, and then fold that over like that. Okay, let's try that then. See, the only thing I don't like is that bulky corner there, so that's why I did what I did before. Then when you pull this one up, I'm going to do what I did before, I think. Oh, I'll just stick those down for a minute. Okay. I'm not sure which way is the best way. It's always, you know, trial and error really, and it depends on the paper or material you're using. So I'll just go with this and see how we get on. Gosh, that's put me off the sound. I do apologise. Goodness me. What a racket. It's gone now. Sorry about that. Okay. So I want to do the other side. The bottom is going to have to be a bit different because it's not as much. Okay. But I'm not folding it completely on the corner there. So then when I pull that up like that, that's what that will look like. Give that a bit of a burnish. Okay. I hope this one's going to look all right. Bit too generous with the glue there. Good job we're covering it over. Just hold that down for a few seconds. Okay, So far so good. Right, okay, let's do these here. Okay, okay, and then this one, just burnishing that down, pop a little bit under there. Okay, that's it. Right, obviously if we weren't covering this inside, I would be thinking about different ways, so I'm not worried about what this looks like because I'm going to cover this spine anyway. So okay, so I just want to trim that tiny bit off there, like that, and we'll stick this bit down. Like that. But this is going to be covered with some lace or material. And it still folds over. Now I wonder why that feels as if it's not folding as well, because it was. I may have to just trim that down with a knife. I'll do that off camera. But that is the front and that is the back. Of it. Okay. I should probably put corners on these, all of them. Okay, so I have to think about now what's going on the inside. So I have some scraps from already from the wallpaper pad. So we can use, let's have a look, use some of this if we want to. That's quite nice, isn't it? I want something bigger than that. So what other scraps have I got? That one. And I don't particularly want the blue. I've got the bird cages there. That's a nice one. Or I've got this rose one here. Which one? I'll go with the bird cages actually. So I really wanted it to cover over those, although we probably put a pocket here. So I think it has to be a bigger piece, so we'll get the pad. What I've got some of these squares, now they're bigger. These are these squares I actually cut. I was supposed to cut this down horizontally and I did it landscape instead down there, so couldn't use it. So that's nice, that one. Well, those two are nice actually. I like those. Right, I think these would be perfect. So I'm just going to, so these are, it's part of the scrapbook page, but these are the small quarters. So these measure, these are the 6x6s, yes, that's it. A bit of glue on that one. I don't know if I can get that off. Oh, it's part of the book, you know, with the scrap pad when it comes out the top. That's good, it's coming off. The other thing I don't like about Tim Holtz pads, and they're not cheap, though I do believe it's discontinued a few, is that when you get them, they're sealed either side with a big round clear sticker right across from the front to the back on either edge of the pad, and if you're not careful how you get that off, and it can stick to the paper, it ruins some of them, so I'm keen on that. Okay, so I'm kind of erring on the side of having this up the right way for a start, but having it up higher and having, we'll have a pocket here and a pocket here, I think. So I just want to now see, so obviously this is 5.5, so I think I'll go 5.5 from that end in, and then we'll see how that fits. Okay, we'll do the same on the other one and prefer this design up this end, so it's going to measure 5.5 there. And yet on this one it's the same. Okay, there. I think my eyes are googling, doing something, because I could have cut that too short. I can't see my mark. I can see it there. It's going to be awkward to cut from that angle. And I can see it there definitely, so I can turn that round. Like that. Okay. It's the right way. Okay, I think that's how I'll have them. Like that. So I'm just going to ink round those. Because you do get a bit of white. Nice pattern on the back. I'm just going to get my small brush, and I just want to go in there where I can see white. Side. And that's that side, that's better. Okay. Okay, yes, I'm going to just adjust that spine slightly, but I'll do it off camera. Okay, let's just get these down. So we'll have that one. I think we'll have that way round. Okay. Not going to round the corners. Was thinking about that. And I want it closer to the front edge than to the spine edge. So that's the best spine. This one, as I say, I will be cutting a tiny slither off of this side here. And there will be a pocket here. Okay. And just going to look at my scraps. These are all bits of scraps. I thought some of this might make pockets, little short pockets. We don't want anything too big. Those are nice pieces. Okay, just going to pop those, keeping all these bits because we will be able to use them for embellishments. Let's have a look. It's quite nice. Oh, those are upright that way, so I don't really want them like that. So either I use the back, which is in any direction, or that's the only one that's wide enough, really. Or this back of this one. Oh, those are too narrow. This is too, I think, too short. I like the green though. I think that would be quite nice. This is just a short pocket maybe. Or let's find another piece that big. See if we've got some. Let's have a look. So we should have this piece. So quite like that, but not too keen on that, it's too bright. Let's have a look at this spare piece. Do a pocket. Oh, I'm not sure. I can't make my mind up now. Maybe this one. Let's have a look. That's very light, isn't it? I don't like that either. So that was the only decent piece. And these, sadly, are not wide enough. That is, in my opinion, too dark. So the scraps are not working out right. So from a previous project, I have some more scraps of Tim Holtz. So there's just got to be something, isn't there, in here that I can use as a pocket. So that's nice, and that will be wide enough. So that's a possibility. Have we got anything else? So I made concertina, little tiny concertina journal. Oh look, so we can use some of these for making our ephemera. And those are nice. Yeah, I've kind of made a big tag there but it was a mistake. Yes, you can see I started doing my concertina thing and then that was a big mistake. These are nice. Can make some nice cards. So that's the other tag. I can still use those, but they're very hard, but we know we might be able to put those in. And this is nuts and bolts. Right, okay, so I left everything in there when I finished it. So I wasn't sure if I was going to make another of those concertina journals, and these bits actually can go, they can go in with those. Right, so we've got two nice pieces. I'm going to use the backs of these, so I like these. I think there's a lot more yellow in that side. I don't want them that tall, so right, this is going to be the last thing we do. Okay, so I just want to make a tiny gusset really. Kind of there and there. I'll just get the scoreboard. I'm just winging this as usual. Okay, so I want a small score line down there and another one there, like that, and then it doesn't matter which way up, but I did put a mark. Oh, there it is. So these are just ad hoc. I'm just making a gusset pocket. So I am going to trim the box there and there, like so. That wasn't right. I had to stop and think then. It's a while since I've made one of those. So we'll just fold that on here. So it's quite thick paper this, so don't press too hard. And then the sides are really tiny, very narrow. It should, in theory, if we've done it right, not we, really, me, should be just the right size. There. That's fine. And then I'm just, before I glue it down, I want to make a little thumb notch. So I'm just folding it and not pressing down, creasing it, so I can see where the middle is. And that is then our pocket. Okay, so this one, we want it the same height, really, although it's on the back, it doesn't matter, it's not going to be seen. So that's the height of it. So we'll cut it there. See if I can do that with my scissors because it's on a line. And then width-wise, we've got lines, so that makes things easy. So okay, so we just score this Where did I say that bottom score was? Paddy's heard somebody pull up. I think I might have to shut my window. And that's the bottom score. And that one. Like so. So again, I'm just going to cut across there and it's just taking the bulk out of the corners and then fold that up. And fold our sides in a little bit more of a side on this one. Oh, I can't put my scoreboard away, so I'll have to do that after. And that should fit there. So again, I'm not going to fold it down the middle. I'm just going to tip the middle like that to crease it with my finger. Now, where did I put my... And take that out. Okay, let's give those an ink round. Always stick them down. Right, so we said we have, doesn't matter really, which one do I prefer? I actually like that one there now, so let's glue that one down. So always hold the notch side if you've made a notch, or just remember which is your top and just glue those 3 sides. Okay, just going to press that down for a minute. So that's our first pocket. Yeah, it wants to come up. Got my clips out, so I can just give that a clip. Glue that. That will rub off, you see, with your magic rubbing finger. I kind of put them right up to the middle because I don't like they're not really designed for craft. I don't think they're mainly for quilting. That's why, you know, they do make marks on material, on paper and card with those little teeth. Right, okay. Line it up one side and then you know you've got it right the other side. Like that. And I always like using matching colour ones. I know I'm really weird. I put 2 or 3 on a piece. I like them to match. Okay, right, so I'm going to leave that to dry and I will sort that out. I'd have to do it with my knife now, I think. Try and very carefully shave off a bit. But that's the inside of the cover. And that's the other side. And don't just ignore that because that's going to be covered up anyway. But we then can obviously decorate the front and the back when we're ready to. And these are the signatures. Again, these will need embellishing. So there's 3 signatures, kind of got different sizes. I mean, I haven't got them in any order really, so I may kind of be moving those about. But so far that's what we've got ready. Okay, so next time I'll show you how to get your signatures ready for binding. Okay, so on that note, I shall leave you and say goodbye and have a lovely day. Take care. Bye bye.